especially we have a guest in-house that is Sylvia. Well, from agriculture, she said, no, I'm going to take this a little bit more further into producing her own yogurt and milk products. And in case you have a question, njagala kose number 0 okubanga osindika ekibuuzo kyonna kyewetaaga okubanga otowooza. But for now, let us dive deeper. Good morning, Sylvia.
Good morning.
How are you doing? We are excited to have you.
I'm very fine.
June.
That's true. Ending the financial year.
How does it feel? How was your June been like?
As a business, definitely ending a financial year, there's a lot of work. You start looking at how have you been performing, preparing for payments, for URA. So there's a lot that is taking place.
Wow, I was super excited to know your story, not even story, but your business, how it really, how you conceived it. Could you just share a little about it?
Yes. First, maybe I can talk about me and then how the business comes in. My name is Sylvia Natkunda. I'm an agribusiness profession by training. And before I started business, I worked for other companies in the private sector, for NGOs. And given that my background is agriculture, I was working with dairy farmers. And yeah, along the way, I definitely realized my business, which is in yogurt processing. This is something I wanted to do. Because one, during my interaction with the farmers, I realized they had a challenge of selling milk.
You were in the dairy farm?
I was, yes, I used to manage a multi-stakeholder platform for dairy.
Okay.
That means I used to meet many stakeholders in the dairy value chain, from farmers to processors to the people supporting the chain, like people giving drugs. But my interaction with the farmers, I think, is the one that really impacted me, because I noticed, especially during the wet season, you'd find they have a lot of milk. So the way the dairy...
So which time is the best? The hot weather?
The wet season is when milk production goes high. Okay. Because cows have access to water, grass is enough. So that's when the production is high.
Wow.
So during that time, you can't imagine, some farmers can actually pour the milk because they don't have where to sell it, or the prices are so low and the investment in transporting the milk to where it's bought is not worth the trouble. So at the time it was a challenge.
How many years are we speaking about here?
This is about 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yes, this is about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yes. So, and of course the other aspect of myself, I'm a mother. And I noticed that the importance of yogurt in raising a healthy child. The doctors definitely prescribe yogurt as one of the complete foods. Yes. It has all the nutrients. It has everything that a child needs to grow properly. But in addition to that, of course, looking at the statistics of Uganda, you find that malnutrition is a serious issue. About 30% of children are malnourished. So I was like, I need to do something that is impactful, that will help, that will contribute at least to providing the right food to the children, and also that will help farmers increase their incomes. If I'm able to partner with them, then this would be something.
10 years ago, very many years.
Yeah.
But I'm here thinking to myself, okubanga oliawo n'ogamba you choose milk rather than any other business. Someone is actually watching us and saying, what's the name of her business anyway?
Yes, that's true, correct. The company name is called Farm Rep.
Why that, not any other name?
Farm Rep, definitely, given that we are in the farm, and I thought I wanted to add farm rep of harvesting, like reaping from the farm or gaining from the farm. So for me, that was the whole idea about the name. And also why yogurt, definitely I already explained. I am an agribusiness professional.
Wow.
And I felt it was an easier landing for me to go in a sector I already knew. But definitely it's mostly about the impact of the business. What can it do for the normal person?
Well, in some of the products I saw you flavored it up with some passion. What does it mean to run a yogurt business, especially when you have a factory compared to local making of yogurt?
Well, it involves a lot. That is one. On the regulation side, you definitely need to get certification. Like you need to get approval to actually do yogurt processing if you're going to take that product to the market. But before you even reach that, you have to invest in the right equipment. You have to invest in a factory, which when processing is done, the product is not going to be contaminated because yogurt is very sensitive. You can't imagine. It's a product which you have to be very careful from the moment you start production. So a factory that complies with the requirements of here for Uganda, it's the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. And then having the right equipment that ensure that when you process milk, it turns into yogurt. And of course the handling, it's a cold chain product. You have to have the right facilities for cooling. You have to have the right personnel who know what they are doing. So it's a lot. Manufacturing is one of those companies, businesses that are quite challenging, or you have to do a lot to make them work.
So if someone is watching us and say, "Omchala yagede oluzongolonji multi-sector, do you speak Luganda?"
A little bit.
How would you help somebody that is running a local yogurt business from their home and they haven't yet scaled to be big as you have done it?
Maybe I can first relate to myself. I started from my home. I didn't start from the factory.
How many liters would you make?
About 20, 25.
A day?
I started so small.
Wow.
I started by testing the market. I didn't want to invest in everything and then somehow I don't make it.
How much money was this at that time?
It was not a lot. I would say around 7 million.
Okay.
Around 7 million.
The 20 liters?
20 liters, because I told you need a fridge, there are basic things you need. So I started from my garage.
Okay.
You need to transport this product to the market. You need people, because I started with one person. So the 7 million, of course you need training, who is going to teach you how to do this. Yeah, so that's why I estimate around the 7 million in the basic small equipment.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. I really, really love that. But what could be some of the challenges, the achievements of Kolera? Because from 2013 until 2025, it's really been a long, long time.
Of course, we have seen growth. First, I mentioned I started from a garage. Right now, I own my own factory. We are able to process about a capacity of 1,000 liters a day. The factory has that capacity.
Do you source from different farmers, or you have one supplier that gives?
We have, again, I need to explain the way the value chain is organized. So we buy from milk transporters. These are the ones that interface directly with the farmers. Yeah, so going back to the achievements, I have a factory. We've managed to penetrate the market. We are in several supermarkets and some big supermarket chains like Capital Shoppers, like Carrefour, and also many small and big supermarkets in Entebbe, in Kampala. We are also in Jinja. We also do Mukono. Then we have a distributor in Arua. So I believe those are quite achievements. And of course, we have also managed to do the UNBS certification. Many businesses start. It's not an easy process.
True.
Yes, because there are requirements you have to meet. So our products are actually certified by UNBS. And yeah, we look forward to continuing to grow.
How did you grow this farm rib from a small scale to become a medium business? Because right there should be strategies.
First of all, for me, I think there was intentional investment in the structure or in the structures. Of course, here when I talk about structure, I talk about the processing plant, I talk about the equipment. So to ensure that a quality product is produced, because there are many competitors out there. So you must have a product that will compete, or people will come back when they test. They will still find it useful. Then the other aspect for me was looking at the people. Whom am I working with? I eventually realized I cannot do all the work. As much as most business owners want, they feel they are the most perfect people to do the jobs.
Yes.
But in the end, you need to work with people.
Yes.
So I is still investing in having the right team that eventually probably I will not be seated there all the time, and the business can still flow. And lastly, we are working on having systems and processes, again tying with the people. So what guides whoever is working with me? What are they supposed to deliver on, and how are we able to check that they are doing what they are supposed to do, even when you're not there? So for me, I think those are the key things I've tried to work on, and I'm still working on.
I'm very, very excited, Sylvia. Having you this morning actually is ushering us into a greater week. But here is a situation I'm looking at. Since 2013 to 2025, there are always challenges encountered in business. Is there at one point any challenge that left you jaw-dropping and you're like, this one? No.
Okay, well, I think running a business, one thing is that you must be ready to face challenges. There are always challenges, like you're always solving problems. But for me, the most significant, I think, was the location I'm in had a power problem. When I came in, first of all, we were not connected to the electricity, the national electricity. So I had to pull power from a certain location to where I work from. So at that time, it was okay. But when power came to this place, everyone now found the place attractive, and they started migrating to that location.
Oh, yes.
And the power problem, that's when we started facing the power problem. Power was little. Umeme was not doing, yes, the consumption was high, but Umeme was not adding, I think, what do they call it? There's something they are supposed to upgrade the power so that it meets the demand, the local demand. So for me, that was a very big challenge. I remember at one time I had to even rent a house outside my factory.
Wow.
After processing, every day we move the products to the trading center.
Oh my God.
And try to call them from there. Of course, for me, that, it taught me that there's always something. I've learned that there's always something. That
you went to Gayaza where people are
where in the trading center. So we'd move, we're about 3 kilometers from Gayaza town. But eventually they worked on the power because we kept lobbying, talking to them. They actually upgraded it. So for me, I think that was one of the big challenges that I felt I was helpless. There's when you have a challenge and you know where to go quickly and it's solved. But this one was out of my control.
I do get you big time. Now, well, if we somersault a little more deeper in this, you realize that very many people actually fear to enter business. Bagamba losses, this will happen. How would you advise someone who has been procrastinating to start a business?
For me, I think they should start.
There's still that fear of like,
with
my
the
2
fear,
million will
yeah,
go.
you need to start. Because without starting, first of all, you'll never realize if you could make it.
True.
I think it's better to start than just sit on the sideline and keep fearing.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say start. For me, actually, on starting, I wasn't scared. That's funny, because I think I didn't know how much it takes to run a business.
You didn't count the cost of
For
building.
me, I thought I would go in, I'm just going and work. But I realized when I was in the middle of it,
Yeah.
that it takes all your passion, your strength,
Your
focus,
mind.
your mind. It's like this is something that is part of you, and you don't want it to fail. So if someone is passionate about what they want to do, they will actually make it.
At this point, did networking help you grow a business?
Definitely, a lot. So for me, I was lucky because I was already in the network. I was already working with all these people who are in that sector I was entering. But networking, even up to now, is important.
Yeah.
You need to be connected with people who know what's happening, what's, for example, some businesses are able to look for financing or for investment. All those you'll get to know if you're connected to the network that relates to your sector. So for me, I think it's one of the basic things that you must be doing as a business person, even for marketing purposes.
Yes.
People will not know about your product. They will not want to even, because some people buy because they've experienced you,
Yes.
or they've seen you somewhere, or they've seen the product somewhere.
Yeah.
So those are some of the benefits, I think, that come from networking. And of course also knowing whom to turn to in case you have a specific challenge that needs professional help, or so I can't even emphasize how important that is.
You know, you just spoke about products, and in my head, I looked at some of the products that we were saying. What's the determinant? Because some packaging looked to be in small, tiny jerry cans, others in sachets. What is the determinant to that?
Well, the determining factor is the market you're targeting.
Okay.
Who is the customer you're targeting?
Defining your target market.
So you define your target market. So for me, when I started, I looked at the family. And we actually started our yogurt, packaging yogurt in jerry cans.
Wow.
Big jerry cans. We also thought of affordability. So the bigger packaging, if you compare with the packs, like I've sold you a 1 liter jerry can at 6,000, and you go and buy maybe a 250 ml of a cup. If you're to get the same quantity of yogurt I'm giving you, you'll find that the jerry can has a much more affordable, the yogurt is much more affordable. But also, you know, our family structure. We are 4 or 5 people in a family. How many cups are you going to buy to make sure that each person gets enough?
Yes.
So for us, we started with that mindset. We wanted to serve the family. But along the way, we actually realized our most important customer was a child.
Wow.
Most people purchase yogurt first because of the child. Then later, although it's important for all of them, especially the women, the benefits of yogurt to women,
Yes.
Even the men. But the main reasons why people purchase, it's because of the children. So that's how we came up with a smaller packaging, the squeeze pouch. That one, it's meant to really, you know, they are also picky eaters, to entice them to love what they are eating. Even the bottles, they are small bottles, 300 mils. Again, they are meant for people who are on the go. You don't want to move with a jerry can when you're on the road. So the packaging really has a lot to do with whom are you targeting, and what's the around what area, when are you drinking this product? Is it at home? Are you on the move? Are you at school? Yes.
Well, my next question will be about bookkeeping, but one of the things you have really earmarked here is who is your target audience? Abatolaba, who is your target audience? And you talked about affordability. Are people able to afford what you are selling? Well, but let's go, ask our audience to be sending in some questions. Some already here, but I would do encourage them to continue sending in more. And I'm so welcome to number 0 nyamkaga 050 mukaga 0 okubanga musendeka ekibuuzo kyonna. Sylvia from Farm Reef already okubanga bidamo mwe abali mu yogurt business and those who are looking forward to scaling it up into a medium size or a large scale business. Let's dive back into our conversation. Sylvia, bookkeeping for business owners is one of the hardest things.
That's true.
What you call it?
Of course, we've evolved over time. We started very small with just books. You record your daily, what you have spent on, what money has come in one book. But over time, it became important to now start introducing other paperwork like receipts, invoices, because these are what they call the source documents that help you know what you spent on or what money came in. You have a document that actually speaks to that. So we slowly moved to that level of having invoices, receipts.
Were you not tempted at some point to take out some money and mix it with your personal?
That's how I started. I was not I was not separating my money. Actually, I think I was more on the losing end. I was putting my money in the business because when I started my business, I was still working. So I was working somewhere, employed people to work. So I would earn my salary from there, then come and put in the business, but without knowledge of how much I was actually spending.
Wow.
It is right now that I am so keen. What has gone in, if I have put it in, it must be recorded as added in. And of course, later we graduated to a system, having a system that again tracks your money. But also for purposes of taxes, URA is now very, very strict.
True.
So you must have proof of what you've bought, what you have, money you have brought in. So it really requires that as your business grows, I think investment in a bookkeeping or financial management system becomes key. Because sometimes I think we even pay taxes we are not supposed to pay.
Yes.
You go there, you estimate, they come. If you don't have the proof that you actually spent this money on this, URA will say, no, your business is making this much, and we are demanding this much.
They'll
and
estimate
you will pay. They will estimate.
Amount.
The business could be making losses, and you're not supposed to pay that, that money. But if you track the money, then you can actually know what you're supposed to pay, how much you're making, if you're making losses, or if you're making a profit.
Wow, I'm loving today's business treasure. But someone here says, hey, Mrs., I like your packaging.
Oh, thank you.
Another one says, how has social media helped you to boost your business?
For us, social media is very important as a small business. We don't have the money to invest in expensive advertising like TV commercials or radio. So we leverage on what? On social media. So we have a presence on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and LinkedIn. Not so much there, but we actually have a presence on all those platforms. So for us, we get a lot of online orders from Instagram.
Okay.
And we became serious with the social media advertising and using social media during COVID. You remember when they closed businesses, were not moving. That's the time we actually opened our social media platforms and started selling online. Surprisingly, we were not so much, we were selling, moving to supermarkets, all that. But it opened a way for us. And right now it's, I think, one of my most important going forward, I think in future,
Yes.
it's going to be my most important market.
Cool.
Yes.
Wow, I'm loving that.
Yeah.
And you know, from what you're sharing, very many business owners are watching us, and people also are aspiring to start this business. But what are some of the lessons actually have learned
From the business?
Farm Rip.
There are many lessons.
Yes.
Well, the most important lesson I would start with is that you must love what you're going to do. Because business will challenge you. Business will make you even question at one time whether this is something you're doing. If you do not love what you're doing, you might easily give up.
True, yeah.
So that is one. If you want to do business, find that one thing that you really love to do. The other lesson for me is that you need to build a team to help you run the business. And for me, that's now has become
building
a team to manage and run the business.
Not employees who you just pay.
And you're not employees because first, you cannot be in every aspect of the business. When the team is in the market or doing sales, you're not there. Like now I'm here, there's production at the factory.
Wow.
So you need to have, but also if you try to do everything, you'll be too stressed. You'll actually find your life is a bit disorganized. You're the sales, you're the finance. So for me, I think building a team is one of the most important things you can help yourself as a founder or as a manager to have your business run.
Shortly on that, Sylvia, how have you been able to keep this team motivated?
Of course, team motivation, there are many aspects. I think the first people they start from what are they earning. I think that's the first interface with employees. But I think beyond that is trying to sell your dream to the team.
To understand and carry
the heart. Why are you doing this? And why should you do this? For example, at Farm Rip, we believe we want to offer that customer experience.
Yes.
Like when you take our product, you should want to come back. And our product should be authentic. It should have that natural, So the team, when we are communicating, we emphasize that we want to have the best yogurt. We want to have it, so the ones doing production, they must invest in that. The product should be good. And also the ones who are selling, they must communicate that. Maybe just also a little to deviate, I have a unique product. I don't know if you noticed, a millet yogurt. It's the first of its kind, certified, and it's actually one of the most selling
Our
products.
appetites here at Promise TV
I
are
think
big.
I should send you I should send you samples, and you have a test. So for me, I think you must sell your dream to the team.
I feel you're bringing out something called creativity.
Yes, innovation, co-creativity, even our packaging.
Yes.
So you must, you must make the team understand, even if right now you're not making the money, where is this company going in 5-10 years?
Yes.
Is there something, do they believe in what you're telling them? And do they embody that dream that you're actually going to be maybe big?
Yeah.
If they see big companies, they should also be aspiring to be that. Yeah. So for me, I think that's...
Nasawali says, thank you for the show. And well, I feel like we are just taking it a little bit more deeper, but I'm enjoying. What keeps you motivated, Sylvia?
Well, for me, I think it's twofold. One, I really want to be an inspiration, especially to women. Given our social setup, culture, women usually believe they can't do certain things.
Yes.
Or they can't
be able to break through
or even make money. Like someone's aspiration is to get married, sit and have children, and that's it. For me, I believe as women we have a role to play. We can contribute economically, we can contribute our families. So for me, what keeps me going is really to be that person who can inspire others to also think that they can make it or they can do it. Yes.
Wow.
Of course, the other one is more directly to my business. I really want to have a future where every child has access to nutritious food, has easy access, because you'll say, but they are sweet potatoes, they are beans. But if you think critically, for example, if you look at how our kids feed in schools,
True.
I think it's not up to standard. We still have a gap. At home you might be feeding your child well, but when they go over to, for example, boarding, what are they feeding on? Can we get to a point where we have, for example, our packaged yogurt? Because it's everything, like it has everything this person, the child needs. Is it able to be accessed in schools so that now everyone has that, that easy access to nutritious food?
Actually, my memories just flipped a picture and I realized I think I've landed on farm rib in one of the supermarkets. I can't really tell, but the picture just came to me now and I said, oh, I can see.
Yeah.
But you know, in this conversation we have had, I feel taking one step at a time, one step at a time, and making sure you consolidate the ground that you are trying to take into. Because what I'm happy about is how you're able to track your progress and knowing what keeps you to remain focused on where you want to go.
Yeah.
But you know, we are drawing to the close of the show, but how would you want to sign out?
How do I want to sign out? I think I'm going to speak to a lady out there.
Yes.
If you're there and you're hesitating and you feel you don't have what it takes, for me, I think you have everything it takes. Just start. Look out for that one thing that you love doing and work on it and develop
the passion
and do it. And maybe also lastly, definitely as a business person, I will call to my viewers to look out for farm rip yogurt. As I mentioned, it's in many supermarkets, it's in shops. Try our yogurt. You will not go back to other brands. Yes.
You know, from this wonderful time that we have really spent, for someone that is watching us, I want to just highlight to them what you have shared. You started right from home, and now here you are running a medium-sized business and able to track the bookkeeping. And from people who say, "May fear, I'll make losses," one of the things she has said, start. Expect the losses. Business takes your mind, your resources, and everything that you need to do. And if you're one of those people who's doing the yogurt business, I'm sure you have been inspired. Togambi, who's your target audience? Are they children? And can people actually afford that product? Me, I feel we have had one of the most wonderful times this morning, and people are able to become more serious. They may not be in yoga, they may also be in other businesses, but I feel they have been really inspired and has really been worthwhile.
Okay.
But well, Sylvia, me and the viewers on the Sunrise Show, you have done us justice, and we hope to continue having more in future. Well, today I want to sign out here and now. And in case you have any question, inquiry, or anything you want to let us know, say 0 or tusindikira obubaka bwonna tujja ate tujjira ddala. But from us to you, we say bye-bye. See you.